Tonight we're going to look at some images from the Wendy Williams Show. These are my opinions, my observations of this footage. First, we're going to look at these white objects in her eyes. These have been seen in many other of my videos, and they're on these beings. And here is the white object right here in her eye. And let's do some frames of her eyes. And look at her neck. And her teeth also glow like fluorescent lights. Okay, let's move on. I think this shot here probably shows these glowing teeth, really bright teeth, which would be holographic teeth. Another thing to point out before we get started are these eyes of these creatures. And here is a pair right here. Sometimes it's as a symbol and sometimes it is of a creature. So these are all through this footage. And also the ends of her fingers shapeshift, not just her hand, but because I believe these are snakes, the ends of them shapeshift. And on her neck here, we can see these white objects on her skin. The condition of her skin, I don't see any reason for that, and I think that even some of the audience shots could be enhanced to cover her problems. And I also believe that demonic energy comes from these beings, and that is also in the air. So let's take a look at her as she brings her hand down. And this finger, we'll see a little bit of green on it. There it is, the green. You can see some of the tips of the fingers have shape-shifted. And you do see some of these strange things that show up. And here is an eye here. And we're going to look at her eyes real quick here. So we're going to watch her eyes. It's a slit pupil. No mistaking that. Okay, let's move on. And she has a white object in her eye, this time also, in a different show. And we're going to look at this arm and hand. Well, actually her hand. We're going to take a look at her hand And this is completely reptilian. It is not normal, and it is not human. You can see the color change, the texture change, and also you see eyes all over the place. Especially here. Getting some interference there. And in other places throughout here. And then especially here, you can laugh like some people do if you want. But these are eyes right here, I believe. And just look at the texture and color of her fingers. She also seems to have some energy here around her. And that's very telling there. This looks similar to the Kardashian snake finger video I just did. And you can see this energy too that is around her. And to me, this looks like a big conglomeration of critters. Especially here, it's like one can make out. Okay, check out her arm. And I'll just play a little bit of this real time so you can see what it looks like. And I think that this is a very interesting thing on her lip. Right here, it looks like two little eyes. And look at her lips. And here she has another slit pupil in her eye and those white objects. Okay. And here I just want to watch her eyes and her mouth if you'd like. Square pupils, or square irises, I mean. Here she's making the devil horns. Right here, upside down devil horns. Here we're going to look at the tips of her fingers here. This one looks like a face. These are like the white objects, which come in different shapes, but just wanted you to see that. And her hair looks very strange. This is her hair, some green here. And take a look at her hand. This definitely is showing some true form here. And take a look at her index finger. These tips, even this one. And the texture of her skin. Take a look at her thumb and her fingers, her hand. quite a mess. And this is an example of the shape-shifting fingers. Is right here and over here. This, I believe, is a little face with eyes. I also can see them on her thumb, her arm, her neck, everything really. Her eyes. And here, her hand is in motion, and it looks to me like a snake. You even can see these eyes, possible eyes. You can see this little white object face right here on her neck. And we're going to take a look at her hands. That ring, this is supposed to be a ring, but I think it's an entity. And look at her fingers and her ring. Her ring looks like it has eyes to me. Look at those fingers. Color of her skin. And I think that's probably enough on that. Now this part is a little different. Some people will probably find it a little gross, but this is all about research. She is putting a Q-tip in her nose instead of using a Kleenex. Her eyes get really crazy. There's a Q-tip in her nose. Okay, here it comes. The Q-tip is coming out. And it's right there that I believe that this is a face with horns. That's what it looks like to me. And it's green. And check out her hair. But this Q-tip is kind of interesting. She must have dug a demon out of her nose. And then you can see the green on it. If she had that much green in her nose, she would probably be at home sick, right? And listen to what she says.
Day, devil, not today.
Again, because it got cut off. She says, not today, devil, not today.
Not today, devil, not today.
And we're going to take a look at her hands here. And these look like eyes to me. This looks like a creature. You can see eyes here on her hand. It's really, really bizarre. Try to get close in on it. In this image, you can see, I just hope I have some little eyes here, I think. Here, and on this finger you can see it right here. Okay. Okay, and finally, this is the last part. And just look. You can almost see some of the faces. And look at her arm. Her hand is almost black. There's an eye down here. She's got some on her shirt. There are even some showed up on the chair over here, which I think is demonic energy. And just look at these fingers. It's really something. And you can see green on this finger too. And this one has like a little face on it. Thank you for watching. I know this was a longer video, but I wanted to get in a lot of material. But God bless you all, and thank you so much.